Hello, everybody, and good morning. Thank you so much for tuning into the show yet again. I'm here to tell you guys that it is about time that you follow or subscribe to the show wherever you listen. I know y'all are out there listening and you're not subscribing and you're not following the show, and I don't like that kind of behavior. You guys know I'm tired of working these garbage jobs, wasting my time. The links are in the description of the show wherever you listen. All the links, all the social media links, all the different platforms. Wherever you listen, all I ask is to subscribe, to follow. Please, please, I'm begging you, subscribe, follow, and most importantly, enjoy today's episode. Good morning to you all. Thank you all so much for tuning into the show. Thank you to everybody that played along last week with our first attempt at a marathon of Smoking Simian episodes. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to figure out this microphone situation here. Stay in front of my fucking face. There we go. Yeah, guys. Thank you all for playing along. I'm sure it was kind of an overload, right? Especially during the week of Christmas. But I figured people are busy, right? People want to get away from their families. People want to, or people are, they were doing their Christmas shopping and all this stuff. Plus, it was Christmas. And as much as I fucking hate Christmas with almost all of my fibers of my being, this year, oddly enough, I felt okay. I felt all right. Most of the time, I am absolutely miserable, and I fucking hate Christmas. And if, I'm being honest with you, the day, the part of the day leading up to, the ceremony of Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, it's like, I don't feel like doing this. It's so repetitive. But this year, I felt all right. I felt better than normal, which, I guess is a good thing. Now, don't get me wrong, motherfuckers. I hate Christmas. I don't think I'll ever enjoy Christmas. Maybe if I have kids or something someday, or have a family of my own. But to me, I could give a shit less about Christmas, and I'm happy it's over. And guys, this is our last solo episode of the year. Last one of the year. How exciting is that? And it's 157, I think. So we couldn't hit 160 before the year ended, but no biggie, because we will soon. And my idea for the Thursday episode didn't pan out how I wanted it to be. I wanted to do a monstrous episode. I wanted it to be the longest episode I've ever done. But we're not going to force it. I was going to add to the episode that I've already recorded, which is obviously going to be a surprise. I can't tell you motherfuckers about it. But nonetheless, it's going to be a good episode. And I just want to say thanks to you guys for playing along last week, because that shit ran me to the ground. Holy dog shit. I putting all that together and, making the videos and all that shit, like the Instagram videos and whatnot. That was tough. I was beat by the end of the week. And it's a labor of love because I love doing the show. I love talking shit. And a lot of it is fun, right? The actual recording of the podcast is fun. I can just hang out with my friends or meet an interesting person like Professor Wallish, who is fucking awesome. One of the most interesting conversations I think I've ever had. But nonetheless, we had a great time, and thank God it's fucking over. And we only have one more thing to look forward to, guys, and that is the new year. And as I do on the show all the time throughout the year, and it's going to be a theme always, as long as I'm fucking breathing and doing this thing, it is time to review our goals. I do it every quarter. I'm as honest as I fucking can be with you guys, and that's not going to change today. Today is the last solo episode. I was thinking of putting this at the beginning of the Thursday episode because that's technically closer to the end of the year. But whatever. Who gives a fuck? Even if I make one of these goals happen before the end of the year, doesn't matter. Doesn't seem like I could do that with any of them. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for me to have to show you guys. The whole point of this whole fucking thing, of me talking about my goals on here, is to get you guys to talk about your goals. To get you guys to feel comfortable making goals. And a lot of people disagree with me. We had a quick little conversation about it on the New Year's Eve episode that'll be coming out Thursday, or the New Year's Eve episode that'll be coming out Thursday. We had a quick conversation, and my buddy Dave, he's not. Oh, I just gave away who's on the fucking thing, but it doesn't matter. We talked, and it wasn't. He's not into the New Year being a thing. For me, it is. For me, it makes a difference, and if you think otherwise, maybe put yourself in some other shoes, I'm not saying that you should convert and all of a sudden be, I write goals every New Year. No, but it makes sense. It makes sense to me. And hopefully it makes sense to you guys, some of you guys, that the new year is definitely a chance to restart. Every day is a chance to restart, but the new year, definitely a chance to restart, mainly because... for two reasons. One, if you're starting something completely new, completely fucking new, it is great. It's a great time, right? Because you're at square one, figuratively in your mind. Imagery works. For some people, it doesn't. For me, it does. This is for the people who it does work for. So if you're trying something new, it works. And I forgot the second reason. So who gives a fuck anyway? Now I'm going to pull out my goals right from underneath here. Give me a second. Here we go. We have our 2021 goals. And the most important part about this piece of paper is that after this episode, I'm ripping it to shreds and I'm throwing it in the garbage. I would even burn it if I could, because the goals of yesteryear are finished. The ones I made, the ones I missed. It is what the fuck it is. You can always transfer them to the next year, but the important thing is to get rid of this fucking list and make a new one. And if you're anything like me, make it big, make it somewhere, and hang it somewhere that you can look at it and it makes sense to you. But anyway, so what happened throughout the year was the whole time we were doing revisions, right? We got rid of a bunch of things that weren't going to happen, because plans change throughout the year, right? Plans change all the time. So what we had left was make first amount of money on podcast / get a bigger reach. Now, this is kind of it's kind of a contradiction, because I don't know if contradiction is the right word, who gives a fuck, but I've made no money on the podcast. I've made $0 on the podcast this year. Doesn't mean I won't ever. Maybe it does, but it doesn't mean that it's out of the realm of possibility. However, the second part of that, getting a bigger reach, being more active on social media, using each platform, toward the end of the year, I have definitely made it a point to ramp up what I'm doing on social media. I made my Instagram a Smoking Simian piece of social media itself. I did the same thing with my YouTube. The only one that's still kind of a crossover is my Twitter, because I don't know. I mean, my Twitter is mostly ideas that come from my mind, things that are funny, things that I want to comment on. It's not so much a podcast Twitter. It's more just my Twitter, and I happen to be the host of the show, and that's what the fuck it is, which I think is how you should use Twitter anyway. There's only so much marketing you can do on Twitter because it's mostly words. I mean, you put videos up too, but it's mostly words. So, toward the end of the year, I feel like I had started to make a difference there. And having a bigger reach is probably one of those goals on here that should have been crossed off, because it's not something that I should stop ever doing. All right, I got a bigger reach this year. Time to stop growing. No more bigger reach. So really, if we were to get rid of that, it would only be make first amount of money on podcast, which I did not make happen. However, I did become more active on social media. My podcast grew from 0 to whatever the fuck it is now. So the first year, and anything you do, the first few months, all you're going to see is growth. So this is pretty much a benchmark year. This is my first, full calendar year, right? Because technically August was a year I did the podcast, but full calendar year to do the show, and my numbers are where they are. And that is a good benchmark to start with, good metric to start with. And it only makes sense for me to keep growing the show as time goes on. So I made my list for next year. I don't remember if having a bigger reach is on there, but maybe I shouldn't have it on there. I made my list. That'll come out next Monday. We'll talk about that. And I think I made a more of a conscious effort to make goals that should be made in a year, if that makes sense. You know, not something that I'll continue to work on, like traveling or being a better brother or continuing improve. What did I write? Continue improving knowledge of self. Yeah, like all that shit's gonna happen forever. So I think, if I remember correctly, my 2022 goals, I made it a point to make them reachable in the year, and it's not some ambiguous fucking bullshit. So there's that one, right? I guess you can say, I don't know. We can give it a half check. I don't know, half check mark. Next was 185 pounds by the end of the year. That one I did not make happen. We can see here that I had originally said 185 pounds by April. I'm just going to put this down because it's hard for you guys to see it anyway. These cameras are dog shit. 185 pounds by April. I realized that wasn't going to happen, and we switched it to end of the year. Now, I did not get to 185 pounds, and we are at the end of the year. However, I like to use the month of December as a springboard, as an engine rever, if you will, for the next year. So throughout this month, I have been making it a habit again to exercise almost daily, almost every day. Exercise, move, do something, as well as getting my eating habits under control. I think that if you use the last month and a half of a year to really set you up for the next year, to really get you, kind of a head start going, I think that's the way to do it. We're going to see, right? Because, the clock could strike 12 on January 1st, and I'm like, bleh, fuck all that shit, I don't want to do any of that. But I don't think that'll happen. I think this is a good time to use a spray. So what I will say is I did lose weight, right? I got to a point where I'm trusting the process a little better, understanding that there's days where I'm going to cheat, I'm going to fuck off. Like the end of this month, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, you eat like a fat pig, and then you have New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, you drink and eat like a fat pig. So you just kind of take it on the chin and do your best in the interim, in between those days. But I am building the habits back, and I actually lost as much as 10 pounds. Now, I gained some of that back, right? Because I was about 218, which is the biggest I've been in a while. I was about 218, and I got down to 208. I was 208 one morning, and, I didn't look at that as an invitation to fuck off. However, I did look at the holiday as an invitation to fuck off, as much as I didn't want to. I worked out right up until I could, because I ended up riding my bike and fucking my asshole up. Like, legitimately. Like, I don't know what it is. It hurts to sit. I feel okay now. It's been a little while since then, but I wasn't able to exercise. I wanted to exercise on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and the day after that, but it is what the fuck it is. You take it on the chin and you keep moving. You keep moving and understand that the goal is there. So 185 pounds by end of the year didn't happen, but we're getting the habits back, and I did lose a little weight. So not a check. I won't even give it a half check because I didn't reach the goal. But there is promise. There's promise. So those are the first two, and then next we have read 20 books this year. I should have crossed that motherfucker off the last time I did this, because at that point I was probably at 7. Right now I'm at 8. I started a new book. It's a little shorter, so maybe I'll finish it before midnight on Friday. We'll see what happens. But I got to 8, which again, This is a year of growth. If you started at 0 and you have anything above 0, that's growth. That's growth. I don't remember the last time I read 8 books in a year. I don't know if I ever have. I don't know if I ever have. So 20 books was definitely an overshot. I know I said aim for the moon, right? Reach for the stars, R.I.P. Pop Smoke. But that one was quite the overshot. However, I think maybe the pursuit of 20 books a year or this year got me to the 8 that I ended up having. So, again, didn't reach the goal, but everything's in motion, right? Everything's in motion. Reading is a habit of mine. I have so many books. I would love to get through them, before midway through the year. I have a bunch of books. We'll see how that happens. I don't want to get ahead of anything, but reading has become a habit of mine now. It definitely has, and it's only positively impacted me. I have a better vocabulary. I can read regular shit normally. When I say regular shit, I mean things that aren't books. I can read well. I can read better. So, I don't know. It's definitely helped. The pursuit is most important. Perfection doesn't exist. The pursuit is most important. So that's something to remember when you're making your goal list, is that, hey, just because you didn't reach it, if you didn't reach your goal but you made progress, that's all that fucking matters, man. That's what the goals are there for. Sometimes being goal-minded isn't the right way. Sometimes you can't get too specific. I found that you can't get too specific. But, hey, I've made reading a habit, which was, I think, in the back of my mind, subconsciously, that's really what I wanted to do by putting that goal on there. Next, take saxophone lessons / be more musical. Guys, I have no way of bullshitting you on this one. It has not happened. I have not found the time to start practicing the saxophone or finding myself a teacher. I also have not been very musical at all. I found that I do too much shit. So, now don't get me wrong. I bought a saxophone, so I would like to eventually, maybe once a week, meet up with an instructor and make it happen. I would love that. We'll see financially where I am in the coming months. So that one, I can't even dance around that one. So I've been telling you guys I was going to have an intro song done, I don't know how long ago. I've just been neglecting it. There's been days where it's like, hey, why don't you record a little guitar riff for the thing? And then I'm just like, nope. So it is what it is, man. Procrastination, fuck you in your ass. It's life. It's life. That one was one that I don't know. It wasn't a huge goal of mine. It was one that I saw to be attainable. But I love music, and I don't love it to the point where I want it to be a huge part of my life, right? There's only so many things I can fucking do. But being able to practice an instrument is a great way. It's a great skill to learn. It really is. Even if you suck at it, it's the pursuit. It is the goddamn pursuit of learning how to play a certain measure of notes, right? Understanding that, hey, I can play this now. I can play Row, Row, Row Your Boat on the saxophone, and I feel pretty good about it. And then the next step, and then the next step, and then eventually, bing, bang, boom, you're in a fucking orchestra, you're in a jazz band, and you're blowing the hell out of that saxophone player because you quit and you never learn how to play the saxophone. So now you have to blow the saxophone player and hope that their load makes you into the saxophone player that you've always wanted. Anyway, that one didn't happen, and no promise either. Right? Those other two didn't happen, and there was some promise. There was some silver lining. This one, not really. That's that. And then the last one is save more money. Save more money. And I switched the 20% rule to the 10% rule, and I also wrote try budgeting. I did this. However, I remember in the third quarter wrap-up of these, whatever, the check-in, I did say that from then until now, I would put away 10% of everything I make into my savings. And I don't want to lie to you motherfuckers, I have not done it. However, I have found a way that works for me to budget. I have also been paying off some debts, which is important because I have plunged myself into some debt. Nothing too crazy. I talked about it on here. I think it's a great way to, especially as a person who doesn't know how much money they're going to make in a week, it's a good way to track your spending, and it is a good way to kind of, put off payments of things. I don't know. It makes sense to me. If I don't have the money now, I will. I know I will have the money, but the shit that I need the money for right now, food, gas, groceries, rent, I need that cash. Eventually I'll be able to pay the credit. I'm not worried about that. But I need the cash for that shit now. Even groceries, I could put on my card, but things that you can't avoid. Like rent. Rent's a big one. Rent, gas. I need money for that. But save more money. I did save some money. I didn't do the 10% rule like I said I would. I did it probably for a month after I said I would. And then, things started to hit. And before I decided to start putting everything on my credit card, I was paying for things with cash, like you normally do. But my mind has shifted. And so I did save more money this year. I did, definitely. I have a goal for next year. I have a number in mind, a finite number, which is important. Figured that out through the Think and Grow Rich. I recommend that book for everybody. Whether you want to make money or you don't, it doesn't fucking matter. It teaches you how to live a life that is conducive to you, and it teaches you how to really take control of your life. You don't need to read it. If you have no ambition of becoming a fucking wealthy person, but you have an ambition to be good at something, to, live comfortably, to get better at a skill, that is a phenomenal book. It whips your ass into shape, too. It really does. It really does. So Think and Grow Rich, phenomenal shit. I don't know what I should do for this. Maybe I'll do a half check. Because I did lie to you motherfuckers. I didn't do the 10% rule throughout. So we're going to do half check. All right, little half check. And then same thing up here. Half check for number 2. And guys, that concludes my year's goals. Right? Hold on. This chair droops in this motherfucker. Give me a second. There we go. Let me get this bullshit out of the way. What are we doing? All right. Guys, that concludes my 2021 goals wrap-up. This was quarter 4. Just to say what I got done, right? We had 14 goals. At the beginning of the year, we had 14 goals, and throughout, we decided to take some off, and we were left with 1, 2, 3, 4... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And out of them, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we knocked out 4 of them. And then 2 with some promise. So basically, guys, anything you do, you have to review. And I made this list. And I reviewed it throughout the year. We revised it. Things change. Outcomes change. Goals change. And some of these things on here changed goddamn immediately. And some of them on here, I put them on there just so that I could make progress in an area in my life. And for some of them, I did make that happen. For some of them, I didn't. But the thing I learned overall on this, there's a couple things. Number 1, I had too many goals on this bitch. Way too many, right? I had 14 goals, which last year I would have argued, hey, I want to reach for the moon. And I want to have a bunch of shit. But what happens is, for a guy like me, goal-oriented, it clutters my mind. I need to work on this one and that one and this one and that one and that one and this one and that one and that. It's too fucking much. 14 goals is too goddamn, especially ones like this. So I found that the 2022 goal list is going to be much smaller. If I remember correctly, it's about half the size. Number two, your goals need to be a little more concise when you're making them, right? Make them a little more tangible, make them definite, something that can be reached in the year, something that you think can be reached in the year, or something that you can pursue throughout the year that will make sense to you and it's actually achievable, not something ambiguous like I want to make a lot of money this year. How much money do you want to make this year? Put a number down. 15 G's? I want to make 15 G's extra aside from my salary. Whatever. From whether it be from dividends or side hustles or fucking Uber Eats, whatever. You need to make a definite number. You need a definite fucking goal. That's the way that this shit works. 100%. Because the ones on here that I made, happen, most of them are definite, right? Get a bike. Get a nice bike. Bang. All you can do is get a bike. You can't dance around that. You get a fucking bike. Hike Mount Mansfield. Keep a schedule. Use a planner. What else? Save more money. The reason I didn't do that, the reason I didn't get a full check on that is mostly because I didn't follow my plan. But even that, save more money is kind of ambiguous, right? I don't know how much money I want. Save more money. What do you mean save more money? You got to move, right? You got to come up with a fucking number that you want, right? And then even, look, 185 pounds. That's definite. And I didn't reach it. Why? Because my mind was probably on some of these other ones. My mind was probably somewhere goddamn else because I had too many on here. So what I learned from this year's goals list is don't be so fucking ambiguous with the goal. Be a little more specific, not so specific that you're, hindering yourself, right? Maybe there should be a little bit of a mix of both. Right? Something that maybe if you're trying to get better at a skill, you say, hey, I just want to be better at this. That makes sense. I just want to be better at this. And then how to do it has to be specific. I'm going to go, I'm going to practice more on my off time. I'm going to do some more research on this topic. I want to be better at it. Ambiguous, right? But for some other ones, you got to be more specific. I want to have more money this year. How much? I want to lose more weight this year. How much? I want to get my show's following bigger. I want to get this many subscribers on YouTube, this many followers on Instagram, this many followers on Twitter. You need a number. It needs to be specific in that sense. So not too ambiguous, and make a concise list of goals. It doesn't need to be a huge goddamn goal list. Some of us are overly ambitious. Me, hi, that's me. And that is just as bad as being fucking not ambitious at all. Because if you're too ambitious, then you have too many projects that you're working on, and you're not going to make the ones that count happen. You just tried to fill up the list, which is what I did. So, again, guys, it's about revision. If you make a list of goals, whether it's monthly, whether it's for the new year, weekly, whatever the fuck it is, revise, and revise some more. Guys, I thought I wanted to make an MMA debut this year. I thought I wanted to get in a cage and fucking fight a guy. Not out of the realm of possibility in my life, but this year, that shit disappeared almost immediately. It drew, part of it was the fact that I hurt my back and I wasn't training and whatever else. Most of it is the fact that two things have very much taken up my life, comedy and the podcast. Now, I didn't start comedy until August. I didn't restart till August. But August, that's, beginning of August until the end of the year, that's plenty of time to get in a cage, get ready to train, But it just drew me back, right? If I wanted to focus on that, starting an MMA debut, then I would have fucked everything up with comedy and the whole fucking nine. So take a minute and really sit down with this list, with your list, which I already did. And that New list will come out next Monday, the first episode of the year. What's that going to be? The 3rd, January 3rd. I'm going to show you guys my list, and then we're going to do a review like I did last year or this year. We're going to do a review every quarter, and we're going to revise because shit changes, guys. This was kind of a repetitive episode. I said a lot of the same shit a lot of the time, but that's what it is. That's what the fuck it is in this goddamn life. 2021 goals. See ya, motherfucker. We're done. We ain't got no more. The only thing that I could possibly change on there is go from 8 books to 9. And I still didn't make my quota of 20, so it don't even fucking matter. And I'm definitely not getting down to 185 pounds this year. So, guys, that's it. I hope you guys going into the new year have some plans. At very least, have plans. You might not have a goal. You might not have goals, but plans, that's a little different, right? Similar, but different. And I hope you guys have them. Take the time. Sit down and brainstorm. Come up with some shit that's bothering you about yourself. There's got to be. If you don't have things that bother you about yourself, then you're just not paying attention to yourself. You're not sitting there and really taking in a true sense of introspection, because it's scary. It's scary to be it's so weird how we can't even be vulnerable with ourselves, right? We don't even want to admit to ourselves when we're fucking up. Some of us do. Congratulations to you. But a lot of us, we're like, I think I'm doing all right in everything. Meanwhile, you're struggling in this area, you're fucking this up. The thing that you're trying to get good at, you're not getting better at because you are, slacking or whatever the fuck. You know where the fuck you are. You just have to keep yourself accountable. And that's the theme of this year. Accountability, goddammit. Remember in The Irishman, solidarity. Instead of solidarity, it's accountability. That's what we're rocking with, motherfuckers. Guys, thank you all so much for listening throughout the year. It has been fucking fabulous. 2022 is not as bad as everyone fucking thinks. Everybody's just a pussy. Everybody's fucking soft in this goddamn world now. Oh no, the virus and... Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Get out. Make something happen. Stop being a goddamn pussy. You don't have no friends? Oh, I have no friends. Who gives a fuck? Get paid, bitch. Get paid. Get better. Get better in your whole life. Financially, spiritually, mentally. Fucking get better at the things that you enjoy doing. Get better at the things you don't enjoy doing but have to do. Get better at that. If you're signing your name on something, you have to put in as much effort as you can to be the best that you possibly can fucking be. And that's it, motherfuckers. I'm going to talk to you guys on Thursday. Me and my guests, I already said Dave, so fuck it. Dave and James, we're bringing out the new year with a lovely, I guess it's a lovely conversation. I don't remember. But, guys, I'm going to talk to y'all on Monday, me alone with my new list, and it's going to be a new goddamn year, and it's going to be a great fucking time. So make sure you follow the show wherever you listen, and follow me on social media. Yeah, Meteor. Follow me on social media, and most importantly, tell everybody you fucking know about us, because we're coming in 2023 and decades after that. Thank you guys for listening. Deuces.